What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Thomas Gallery, and today I want to talk about my artistic weaknesses and artistic insecurities, right? And I thought about this subject because I just finished a drawing. If you see this drawing right here, I finished the drawing, right? And the idea that I had in my head had something to do with water. Now, when it comes to drawing certain, like, I'm good at drawing certain things or making certain things depending on the medium, but I know that there are certain things that I want to create or make. Shoot. But I get a little bit apprehensive when it comes to the medium. Like if I'm using like a paper and pen, I can draw water. It's easy because I know the techniques of it. But I knew that the idea that I had in my head, I wanted to do in charcoal, right? Like I said, this particular piece right here, right? I wanted to do this piece in charcoal just because one, I haven't used my charcoal in a while, and I had this paper here just sitting around, just doing nothing. So I said, let's do something with this. And the idea I had in my head was pretty much is this: it's a woman swimming underwater with some, water lilies there, right? That's the simplest idea. It's a pretty simple idea. It's nothing to that. But when I made this, I thought to myself, I said, wait a minute. I'm going to have to encounter a weakness of mine. I'm going to have to encounter an insecurity of mine. And that insecurity is when it comes to drawing objects underwater, like swimming underwater. I have a lot of, I know I need a lot of work. I got a lot of work I need to do, right? Especially with using charcoal, like with paint and pencil, fine. But charcoal's a bit, I've never done it before. So I said, okay, how do I attack this situation? I'm going to do it, but I want to know. I want to make sure I understand the nuances of drawing with charcoal really, really well. So I had to look at it. I looked on some images online to see, how water bends and how the light reflects off of water, things of that nature. When something is underwater swimming, like a fish or a person's underwater swimming, what happens to the water? How does it reflect the light? How does it bend? How does it part? Things of that nature. I know all of that comes into play when you're dealing with, charcoal, because with charcoal, there's a lot of adding and subtracting of charcoal. Like if you want to get a highlight in charcoal, you can either just not color that space in, or you can use an eraser to take it away. It's a lot of adding and subtraction when it comes to charcoal. With painting, you can just add on. You can add on the whites for the highlights and the blacks or the darks for the shadows. In drawing, you can kind of drawing with charcoal and drawing with pencil, kind of the same thing. Well, actually, it's the same thing, both graphite. But or drawing with pen. With pen, you gotta kind of have everything set up, beforehand, then color it in. With charcoal, it's kind of different. So I said, okay. Like now, I have other insecurities. Like my other insecurity is dealing with fabrics. Like there's certain fabrics that I'm good at, but I want to get the look like the texture. Like if I want to draw somebody wearing jeans, I want to get the look of the jean texture or the leather texture, right? So I'm getting better at that. I remember I did a video a long time ago saying I wanted to get better at that, and I am getting better at that. But to become a well-rounded artist, I personally believe that we all artists have their strengths and weaknesses, the things that they're confident in, the things they're insecure about when it comes to their art. Like certain techniques or certain styles, things like that. So I think to become a better artist, you have to attack those insecurities. If you find that either you can hide those insecurities, and to the untrained eye, they may not know it, but to the to the person who understands art, they may be able to see it and point it out. But to the novice or the untrained eye, they may not pick it up. But I believe that you should always want to find out where you are lacking and deal with that. Find ways to deal with it. You can take not take ideas, but you can take some advice or some wisdom from other artists who work like you do. So like what I did was I went to other I went to other artists who work in charcoal also. And I went to like photographs of people underwater, and I wanted to see what the water looks like, even with a photograph, even if it's not charcoal, but just a photograph. I wanted to see where the highlights are and where the shadows are when it comes to water, because I'm going to be dealing with that. Where do you normally put the shadows? Where do you normally put the highlights when it comes to water? When the water is when someone breaks through the water, or when the water is moving, or when it's still, what does the light do? So I looked at other artists' work to see, okay, what are their techniques. I looked at photographs of people underwater to see, okay, when a person's underwater doing this particular movement, the water looks like this. When a person is just swimming through without any motion, the water looks like this. So I wanted to see, or what happens when a person's underwater, but like a part of their body is above the water, like this. This is a drawing of a woman. The woman is underwater, but you can see the hair and you can see the top of the head. The top of the head is above the water. The hair is in the water, but it's not as deep as the rest of the body. So I know from past experiences, the closer to the light you get, the more details you can see. And when you were, farther down, where there's not a lot of light touching it, it gets darker and darker. The gradations get darker and darker and darker. So I went from to the light to the mid shadows to when she's underwater, all the shadow, really, really dark. And plus, there's water lilies here, which also cast a shadow, even if it's on water. So you have a shadow on top of a dark area, which makes the shadow even darker. So now, I'm no expert. That's just a piece of some of what I know when it comes to shadows and dealing with water. Okay, or dealing with a transparent substance. How the shadows and lights react on a transparent substance. Okay. My other insecurity is like with metals. Like certain metals have a different shine or luster, as they say, a different luster. Some metal isn't shiny. It's flat, what they call matte, matte, matte. Or you have like a high luster shine. So the shadows and lights play along with that. The shadows and lights aren't as prominent on a matte surface as it is on a really, really luster surface. And depending on the medium that you're using, you gotta know how to really manipulate that paint to trick the brain into saying, okay, this looks like this. I think Rembrandt was very good at dealing with like uh surfaces and textures, like on the metal surface or something like that. He was very good at that. I noticed that about Rembrandt. So what I do is I look at some of his works and see, okay, where it goes. I can just look at objects that I have around, or just objects that's laying around the house. You can just look at that and see, okay, do a study of that. What does this look like? How's the light play off this and this? Or you drawing a person. When a person is under a certain light, what does the light do to their face? What are the shadows? Things of that nature. So really when it comes like to surfaces, and depending on the medium, the surface for me can either be pretty easy or it can be a challenge. I know when it comes to charcoal drawings, and I'm doing lights and shadows on a transparent substance and metallic surfaces with charcoal, those will be my biggest weaknesses that I know I need to attack. That's why I made it a point. That's why I made it a point, because I could easily did paint with this. I could take this big piece of paper and just paint with this. But I wanted to make it a point that I challenge myself. So I got the one thing that I don't use often, which is charcoal. And I wanted to purposely do the one thing that I'm not good at, dealing with transparent surfaces, lights and shadows of transparent surfaces. Now my next big challenge will be charcoal drawings on a metallic surface, because that's another insecurity or another weakness of mine that I want to attack. Okay, so I just gave that story just as a description of, what the artist goes through all the time. I know I'm not the only one who has their weaknesses, their insecurities, their things that they always have that they know that they are lacking in. I know that. And me, like other artists, some artists may try to find a way to shy away from that. That's not really my mindset. I want to see if I can do it. Even if I know I'm not as good at it, I want to see if I can do it. How well I can execute. And I can tell by this drawing that from my previous work I've done in years past, I've come a long way. But I also know that I have a lot more to go. There's a lot more that I need to learn and understand and study. This I know. This I know. This is a test of patience and skill that I'm willing to take. So to all my artists, don't be afraid. We all have insecurities. We all have our artistic weaknesses. Don't be afraid of them. Challenge them. Find ways to attack those insecurities and move forward. Okay. So hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. Hope you enjoyed it, like this drawing too. Leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you all later. Peace.